They say never let the truth get in the way of a good story, and history is full of instances where they sure ran with that idea. In August 1891, the great yarn myth Mercury ran an article telling a story that supposedly took place in February of that year. Off the coast of the Falkland Islands, a crew of whalers were going after a sperm whale they had just spotted. 2 whale boats were lowered from the vessel the Star of the East and approached their prey. When in range, they let loose their harpoons. One boat managed to land a hit on the whale, which sent it into a frenzy, its tail smashing into the other boat and sending its crew into the sea. The boat that was still intact was able to save all but 2 of the sailors, with them being too slow to grab one man, who drowned before they could pull him out, and the other, a James Bartley, was missing. The remaining crew battled with the whale until finally they were victorious. The next morning, the whale was hoisted up onto the deck of the Star of the East, when the crew noticed something strange. There was movement coming from the whale's stomach. Upon cutting it open, they discovered their missing colleague from the day before, James Bartley, unconscious but alive. His skin was bleached white, he'd lost all his hair, and he was practically blind. For weeks he was delirious, before he finally regained his senses and was able to describe his ordeal, falling into the sea before being thrust into a world of oppressive darkness, heat, and pressure as he slipped down the whale's throat. This story was repeated dozens of times in papers around the world all the way up until 1985, 94 years after it was originally published. And as you might have guessed from the extremely subtle quote at the beginning, it's not true. The Star of the East was a real ship, but it wasn't a whaler, and it didn't have a crew member called James Bartley. Also, no, it's not possible to survive overnight in a whale's stomach. This publishing of a fake story was not an isolated incident, with another example being the media's coverage of the Curse of Tutankhamun, which I just happened to have recently made a video on, so if that interests you, go check it out.